Welcome back guys to our channel Emotion, and today we'll be talking about One Piece chapter 1159. So this chapter begins with a certain kidnapping happening in Hachinosu, where we found out that Empress of the Kuja Pirates, aka the most beautiful woman in the whole world, Shaki, has been kidnapped and Don Marlin has been killed. Everyone from Roger to Rocks were very sad to see that their idol Shaki was kidnapped, and everyone in Hachinosu was also very sad because probably everyone had a crush on her. And there was a huge mad thing that happened after Shaki's kidnap, that the world economy was on halt for a few days because she was kidnapped. Now those who study civics and economics probably could tell or could explain what a halt in the world economy looks like, but I have no clue what this looks like. Later on in the chapter we found out the person who actually kidnapped Shaki was none other than Ochaku, and then he probably sold her to the world government. Or later on in the chapter we found out a typical world government behavior from Figarl and Gargling, that he ordered a new wife, so she could be the person he ordered, and the cipher pole probably paid off Ochaku to help them out in order to kidnap Shaki from the pirate island. Then we cut off to a flashback of a year to the God Valley, or 38 years ago, where we see Figarl and Gargling return to the island after a whole year to meet his two kids. Those kids would be Shanks and Shamrock. Then we see a typical world government move from Figarl and Gargling, that he just took his sword and stabbed his wife. This is the place where we learned that Figarl and Gargling actually ordered a new wife from the world, which was most probably Shaki. Now, moving on from the chapter review, I just want to say something for a second, that all this world governmentish behavior from Gargling actually makes him a perfect villain that we want to see die in the near future, which is probably setting up his death in the future by probably in the hands of Shanks and Shamrock combined, where they will take revenge for their mother or something like that. Would be pretty poetic. Now moving on to the chapter again, we see marine battleships arrive in the island with huge battalions of marines who are all equipped with tranquilizer darts to put all the civilians in the island to sleep. At first glance it would be pretty okay to see that they are just using tranquilizer darts, but when you know the reason behind why they are using those darts is because to put them to sleep and then to use them as normal rabbits in the upcoming hunting games. Now this is pretty effed up than to shoot them with normal bullets. Now everything is not yet lost, as we see a young marine who questions this order of using tranquilizer darts on normal civilians, who turns out to be none other than the father of the protagonist, Luffy, aka Monkey D. Dragon, who at this point is probably the rank of a chore boy, or more accurately he would be a rank from the chore boy to a petty officer at most. We also see a hand tattoo, which is pretty similar to the tattoo he had in his face nowadays. This raises a question that what this symbol means and why this symbol is so important to Dragon, and is he the man marked by flame or not. Then we meet a very familiar character to us if you watch the anime. She was recently featured in Kuma's flashback. This character is none other than Ginny. We see her with Ivankov and they are probably being transported to God Valley in a prisoner ship. Now we see that she sneaks into the control room and then she transmits a signal to a single person, probably a single person because she didn't have much time there, but it could be to a various amount of people. But then we see a familiar face, the person she intended to leak the message to. That was a younger Big News Morgan. At this time he is probably around the age of 50, who is the main source of leaking the message from that prison ship to all over the world in places such as Hachinosu and to Roger. Then we see the Roger pirates mobilize, as everyone including Shiki, Ganzai are very excited and very angry and very much ready to save Shaki. So the Roger pirate took off to God Valley. Then their ship was intercepted by King HARALD's huge battleship, and he was probably still on the mission to kill Rocks and to become a part of the world government. A small marine ship was there in the background which was monitoring King HARALD to see if he would actually kill Rocks or not. Then we heard the most bombshell revelation in Onepiece, that Rocks D. Xebec was not actually Rocks D. Xebec, but his real name was Davy D. Xebec. He was a descendant of the Davy clan, and his predecessor was none other than the famous person Davy Jones. And we also learned another information that young Teach or Blackbeard is in God Valley with his mother, who were kept there by Rocks himself, as it was the island where Rocks grew up, or his home island. And Rocks is here in a kind of a double mission, not only to save Shaki but also to save his wife and his child. And this information is not yet known by anyone in the Rocks Pirate. Only the person to know this information is King HARALD. Then we cut off to a double page spread in God Valley where we see all the prizes that will be given to the winners of the native hunting contest. There is also a small retcon there that earlier in Kuma's flashback we saw that there were 6 chests, but now we saw that there are 9 chests and a grand prize, that is Shaki. We also meet a young version of Gargling and a young version of Saint Sommers. One of them want to make Shaki their wife, another one want to make Shaki as their slave. And in the final moments of the chapter we see Monkey D. Dragon entering the house where Gargling killed his wife. And in her last few moments of life, she asked Dragon to save her children from the world government and especially from Gargling. So that is it for today's chapter of 1159. It was a banger of a chapter, and this is probably the final chapter we're going to see before the actual fight in God Valley begins. Those who have watched this part of the video, thank you all for watching our channel Animotion. And please be sure to like this video if you like this type of content. Be sure to subscribe to our channel Animotion for more anime type content. And share this video to your fellow One Piece and anime fans. That is it. I'm out. Peace.